Hi YouTube, it's Shanelli here. I'm so excited to announce that I've been taking so many more calls from people and getting your voices featured right here on my channel along with mine. If you want to be part of the channel, go ahead and pick up the phone and call me at 774-231-8522. Now let's jump into talking about cash advances. First of all, cash advances are not a good thing. I'm just gonna put that out there right off the bat. No, it's not a good thing to do. And the biggest reason why is because it is a much higher interest rate than you would pay if you were using a cash advance than if you were to just swipe your card. Now, for those of you who are watching, you're like, wait, what is she talking about? A cash advance means that you go to an ATM machine just like you do with your debit card, but instead you use your credit card and you put it in the ATM machine and you take out cash. So this is a bad idea because that's not your cash. That's not your money. It's not linked to a checking account the way it is when you use a debit card. You're borrowing money from a credit card company, and it's worse if you borrow in cash. So I'm just going to use my example, which is my JetBlue credit card. I'm logged into the app online for Barclays, and this card is with MasterCard. It used to be with Amex, but you know, that's neither here or there. So now the JetBlue card with MasterCard has my APR at 17.49%. Now that is the purchase APR. That means when I use my credit card and swipe it at stores to make purchases, every year, if I don't pay back $100 that I've swiped, I have to pay an extra $17.49. Now, what happens when you look at the cash advance interest rate? To be clear, it is different. Just because your purchase APR is 17.49% does not mean that's the same interest that you're gonna pay when you borrow cash. It is going to be much higher. So right under my standard purchase APR, it says cash advance APR, and it says 27.49%. That is 10% points more just for using the card to get cash instead of using the card to buy things directly by swiping the card or inserting the chip or whatever it is people are doing nowadays with their credit cards. When you swipe your credit card, you get a grace period. They give you a full 25, 30, 45 days depending on your particular credit card contract, but you get a certain period of a few weeks of time to not get charged interest. They're giving you a chance to pay them back in full without being charged any interest. Okay, so this is a free loan basically until the due date of your bill comes and you pay it in full, you won't get charged interest. With a cash advance, you start getting charged interest the day you take the cash out the ATM machine. No grace period even exists when you use a cash advance. Now, the next thing is, on top of the fact that the interest rate is higher, there are a whole bunch of fees. So when you use a credit card, you don't pay any fees to swipe your credit card or to insert the chip. You just buy what you're gonna buy and then you have to pay your bill later. But the merchant who sold you whatever it is that you bought with your credit card, they do get charged a little fee, and that's how credit card companies make money. However, when you take a cash advance, they charge you the fee because now there's no merchant, there's no store taking the card and swiping it, there's an ATM machine. So they are still gonna make their little fee off of you. So they charge you a fee for using that ATM machine. They charge you another fee for taking a cash advance separate from the interest rate. I just want to make that clear. You pay the cash advance APR interest rate and you pay a cash advance fee. The fee is usually about 2, 3, 4, 5%, between 2 and 5%. It really depends on the credit card, but most credit cards are closer to 5%. And then the other thing about that fee is that they won't charge you 5% if it's less than like around $100 or something like that. At that point, they'll charge you more than 5% because they usually say 5% fee or a $5 fee, whichever is higher. So if you're desperate for 50 bucks, like you really are so desperate for it and you don't have anybody to lend you $50, you don't have any way to get that cash and you use a credit card and the fee is 5%, 5% of $50 is $2.50. So they're gonna charge you $5 because it's higher than 5%. So you're always gonna lose when it comes to these fees. They're always trying to make as much as they can off of you. So it's really not fair for you or for me as consumers to be doing cash advances with credit cards because they always try to find little ways to, you know, to basically come out winning and make it so that we lose. Okay, so there's one last thing that I wanna share about cash advances on credit cards. And this one is a little less popular, like not as well known, but it's so important because it has to do with the laws, which means that they're always going to be rightfully able to do this, and it's a little shady. So when you swipe your credit card and you use it for whatever purchases you make, let's say you also take cash advances, now you have two kind of pieces of debt. You have the purchase APR that you owe, that you took out when you swiped your credit card, and now you also have the cash advance APR debt that you have to pay back, which is at a different rate. You guys could see mine were 10 points away, 10 percentage points away from each other. Well, when you send your minimum payment towards your bill, the credit card company legally has to put the minimum payment balance towards the highest interest rate debt, which is good for you and good for me as consumers, because you want to put your all of your dollars towards your highest interest rate debt so that you could be smashing your highest interest rate debt first, because it grows faster. Literally, by definition, it's a higher interest rate, so it's growing at a faster rate. So you want to smash that first before you go ahead and start putting money towards your lower interest rate debts. So you would want them to put that money towards the cash advance. Now that they do, but what happens after if you want to send more than the minimum payment? Because I've talked about this on my channel plenty of times. If you want to pay off credit card debt, you cannot just send the minimum payment every month. You have to send more, way more, so that you could get out of debt faster. So now your minimum payment is $25. They're required to send that to the cash advance APR first. But now let's say you send $50 because you want to be aggressive and pay that credit card debt down. They get to decide which debt they want to apply that to. Now, what do you think they're going to choose? Of course, they're not going to want to choose to put it all towards a cash advance, because then that means that you are paying your highest interest rate debt faster and getting out of debt faster, and they are making less money off of you in the long run. So they want to keep you in debt longer. So what they'll do is put 25 towards your cash advance APR debt, and then put the other 25 towards your regular purchases made, which is at a much lower interest rate. So you're gonna be taking way more time to get out of debt if you're the type of person who's trying to get out by sending more than the minimum payment. So you would have to send it all, come up with the money fast, and just pay it all to get out of the situation. And that's really hard to do. Needless to say, this is definitely not a fair system for people who need to get cash quick. And so there are plenty of other options. Check out peer-to-peer loans or peer-to-peer lenders out there that are so much cheaper for people and offer much lower interest rates. And think about family first. Try to borrow money from people that you trust and that trust you first if you're really desperate, because a cash advance on a credit card is just one of the worst ways to borrow money, besides, like, you know, loan sharks out there at like payday lenders. But this is pretty much one of the really bad ones, because you're paying almost 30% interest on what you borrow, and it just is really, really high. So I hope by now you understand why cash advances are so bad, but that is pretty much what I have for you. If you have not followed me on social media, go ahead and follow me on social media. I definitely love to interact with people on there and get to know more about you. Aside from everything that I share on YouTube, I also like to share personal things on there. And if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. Hit the subscribe button. I post videos every week to help you get your money right and inspire you to change your life for the better. So join Team Be Helpful by clicking subscribe. And that is all I have for you guys. Till next time, peace.